Bonjour YouTube, bonjour from Cote d'Ivoire. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm just gonna ramble on about dating advice and how I couldn't follow it. And I'm gonna talk about the struggles that are unique to Africa, West Africa especially. So enjoy the video. Thanks for joining me. You know, I don't know about dating advice anymore because it's so cookie cutter. You know, trying to give somebody advice on how to find a partner. I mean, because I don't think I've ever followed any advice. And the times I haven't followed advice before. Well, I'll tell you the best advice I got. This is the only advice I got. The best advice I got was from a divorce attorney in Nigeria who told me, get out of Nigeria. The dating scene there is very corrupted because of the economy, because of modern women, and because a lot of African men are still traditional, but because the economy is so bad, it's difficult for you to be a masculine man in an economy where you're not the breadwinner. You're going to be meeting women that make more than you. Listen, well, I know one thing for a fact. When a woman makes more money than a man, I don't care what the symptoms are or what you think that there are the causes are, or if it's a man's fault or woman's fault, the dynamic doesn't work. Show me one case. Show me one successful couple where the man is the stay-at-home, doesn't make any money. The woman's out, she's a boss bitch, and she's out. It doesn't work. So I know the things that don't work. So anyway, but you can't really follow advice because every situation is so different. And as you get older, you're gonna find that you have less patience for game playing. And the one sad part about it is, in order to find a relationship, you have to leave yourself vulnerable. I've had to leave myself vulnerable, like I'm talking about real vulnerability. Like, because when I get on dating apps and I was up front, hey, I want a partner, whatever you want to call it, spouse, wife, husband. Okay, I want a partner. I want to make a family. And as soon as you do that, you will get preyed on. As soon as you say those things, as soon as you make yourself what you want, but you have to risk putting that out there. Because listen, there is no other purpose for having a wife or a husband, or just being in a long-term relationship. There's no other purpose unless you just want to get sex. I mean, that's not really a good way to secure sex or but you have to have children. You have to want to make a family. That's all there is to it. You have to have a common goal. You can't just go, if you just want to go out and date, and then you can have a person that you date for 1 or 2 years. But listen, after the honeymoon period wears off, because when you meet somebody and you have a relationship with somebody, that relationship, the natural cycle is going to be between 1 and 2 years. That's when the kinky sex gets over with. You're going into a routine in the bedroom, and then you start finding out who that person is, and then it usually can go. Then it's just go. So if you just want to date, then you're going to be flip flopping from one person to the next, unless you have a child in that situation. Then you got 18 years of a common goal. That's I know some married guys that have been married for 20 years, one guy 30 years, always because him and his wife from the start agreed on the common goal of raising children. Other than that, what are you doing? You're just going to hop from one person to the next. So there is no cookie cutter advice that, my situation is I make more than my girlfriend by about 5 times. However, she has her doctorate and she works a job where she's the boss at work. And so my money and my status being white in Africa, unfortunately, is higher than it is elsewhere. But she has status as a doctor, and so it evens out, works out for us. And I stay at home. I don't work. She works. Only in that situation can you make a situation work for her. But if you're a woman, you're with a guy that makes less than you, and he's stay at home and he's not having a lot going on and you're supporting them, I don't recommend that at all. That's a recipe for disaster. And it also can be a disaster if you're just dating for money and then the man has all the control and you're not have nothing going for yourself. And if you get with the wrong guy, I can see how that could turn into an abusive relationship. But nowadays, I don't really know what abuse is anymore because everyone overuses the word abuse. Everyone overuses, oh, he's a narcissist. Usually when women say that a guy is a narcissist or is controlling or something, is because the guy is basically running the household. He is, a man should be controlling to a certain degree. Not abusively so, but what would be abuse? Women nowadays call anything they don't like, any disagreement that they have, oh, he's abusive, he's narcissistic. Okay, so before I go on about the goals and what people should have for relationships, I want to show you, and you'll recognize that. Let me just look at it from the woman's perspective, an African woman's perspective, regardless of whether you live in Kenya, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana. African women have a real problem with being susceptible to scams, and I just want to show you. This is a typical. I don't know why they don't do away with some of these websites on Facebook. You know, you talk about when you talk about misinformation or where people are saying watch out for scams. They have entire pages dedicated to scamming African women. Just take a look. Just doing a quick search on Facebook, you will find that there will be all these scams it'll be white women or white men seeking African women, and you'll see here that women will fall for these scams anytime. Now I know, see, I'm just showing you the very obvious ones, but there are no white men in America. See, look at these fake profile pictures. They get a stock photo, and you can tell the English is broken. I can pick up on it because I speak American English and write American English very well. I can tell right away when you have a white man picture and it says, oh, I'm from Kansas, or I'm from such and such, LA, and I'm an entrepreneur. As soon as you say entrepreneur, women will automatically assume, oh, he's got money. Look at these fake profiles. And this is just what comes across the feed on Facebook. And I don't really use Facebook that much, but there's no white men in America saying, oh, I'm a single dad with children and I'm looking for an overweight African woman who is a Christian, blah, 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 blah. And even some of these women profiles are fake as fuck. Now, it's easy for me to see it because, you know, I'm so red pill and so aware. Sorry for the noise. I'm on a busy road. I'm so aware of these scams because they stick out to me. But then I'll go into the comment sections, like this guy. Now, this guy is saying that I used to live in Kansas. This guy is saying that he lives alone in a house in Kansas. Bullshit. Kansas is such a milquetoast, mid-America, Midwestern place that there are nobody there looking out for African women. I'm telling you right now, these are all scams. This is one scam after another. It's so terrible that women have to look, because there'll be so many desperate women. Oh, I want to meet an American guy. I want to meet a white guy. It's nearly impossible to believe that these are the scams and people are falling for it. It's just outrageous. Now, I will say that there is a level of sophistication to certain scams. Listen, scammers are not the only one that are out here scamming people. There are also people who, because scams follow a certain guidelines. I don't know how to explain it, but let me explain it like this. If you know who Andrew Tate is, he had cam girls on a website, and vulnerable older men would be sending money into these women in these other countries, and saying that, and they were saying, oh, well, I'm going to come visit you. Send me money because you're always going to run into poor people in African countries and other countries. So the women will. It's not uncommon for a woman to, well, if you want me to come see you, can you pay for my passport? Can you have because there are legitimate women that do that, and then there's the scammers, right? So they'll say, "Oh, send me money for a passport, and I'm going to get my visa process going," and I can see through those scams. But there's also poor women and poor dudes because I've seen when I was in Nigeria, I also saw a lot of older white women coming and snatching up a young Nigerian man at the registry in Lagos. I saw it over and over again. I mean, I would walk in there, I'd see this 60-year-old woman with like a 25-year-old Nigerian dude, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" And you know right away the guy's scamming her. And some of these victims, they love to be victims. They love to just get bamboozled by people, and they want to believe so bad. And I get that. And it'll be an ugly older white woman with a handsome younger Nigerian guy, and you just go, "Oh, it's terrible." So a little bit I can't relate because I've always had success with the opposite sex. I've never been in a position where I just couldn't get dates or something like that. So I try to empathize and put myself in their shoes. What if I had never gotten attention and I was so starved for attention that I would be willing to fall for something so obvious to everybody else? And if you're a mid-level, because I'm probably I don't know what my looks are on a 10 scale, but I'm just gonna say because of my age and because of my height and my income, I'm probably like a 5. It depends on the race. Now, black women seem to find me more attractive than maybe say white women, and because I make more money in Africa, so it pushes me up on the scale a little bit. And honestly, the great part about being a man, even at 54, if I want to, I can date 18 to 30, any ages I want to here in Africa. So my heart goes out to people that maybe didn't have so much success, and then they can fall victim to being scammed. If you're an average person, and here's also the thing about women. Women, I'm willing to date down. And look, I personally prefer 3s, 4s, 5s. If you're looking at an objective look scale, I prefer a woman that is not super attractive. Not because I'm insecure or because I want to take power in a relationship. I've been with hot women. I've been with beautiful women. I've been with women that had money, and that's how I know. Like I've had that. But women, on the other hand, the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, they still want the 7, 8, 9 guy, and because they have. Now, see, I just can't go out and get sex like a woman can. Women, a 3, 4, 5, 6 can go out and sleep with a man that's at 7, 8, 9 easily. Just if they just fuck him. If you offer a man pussy, he'll take it. So those women will get stuck thinking that they deserve. We all know this from dating. Listen, how many videos have people made on this? Where you can watch Fresh and Fit and those other crappy channels that people watch. You already know that women get stuck on as soon as they sleep with a guy that is above in their looks, they don't stay in their lane, they will get stuck on that higher out earning man, guy with money, guy with status, guy with looks, and then they think, and then maybe it doesn't work out, and they think, oh, well, he's not going to wife you up. So women really have to start in this market, they need to start having more realistic expectations. But you can't tell women that. You can't tell women to have realistic expectations because they're just not going to do it. And because we've been programmed, you deserve, girl, you deserve this, and don't settle. And women would rather be by themselves than settle for a guy that's on their level. So it really is a difficult thing. I really feel bad for women in Africa having to deal with this. My heart goes out to them. Family has to be the goal. There's no substitute for it. If you say you're not going to have kids or you don't want to have a relationship, and it's not going to work. You have to have a common goal. But here in Africa, it's really tough. It's really tough.
You gonna smile at your daddy? What you looking at? Huh? What you looking at? Huh? Hey, sweetheart. Hi. Oh, you look at the camera. What is that? That's you. That's you. That's you. Hi, say hi. Say bonjour. Bonjour.